taking our time to settle into a position where when you bring your fingertips to your skull, you can gently rotate your chin softly towards your chest, just enough to create ease and neutrality in your neck. So sometimes it can actually feel weirdly pleasant just to grip your fingerprints around your skull and gently tuck your chin a little more than it was already tucked, and then release your arms and soften into the places where your body meets the surfaces below you. So either eyes closed or eyes open. I'd like to start with some breathing where you deeply fill up your lungs. Inhale, then exhale with equal or greater length. So it's an inhalation, slow, gentle, soft, easy, your length. Then the exhalation is the same, but maybe adding a little bit more time to slow it down. And as soon as the impetus comes for you to breathe in again, you breathe in, fill up. And then the exhalation is long, slow, and gently attenuated. Now, for some, it's actually kind of pleasant to add a hold at the top of the breath, meaning that you inhale fully and then you hold for a length of time that might approach the length of your inhalation before you exhale and make it longer. Then you inhale again for your favorite amount, hold for either 0 or your favorite amount, then exhale for a longer exhalation. So it's not really a box breath. It's kind of a triangle breath right at the moment. Inhaling, fill up. Gentle hold for your favorite expansive time, which could be nothing. Then elongate your exhalation and soften your body. Let your bones settle into your soft tissues. Finally, as you wish, if you wish, you may add a pause at the bottom of the breath. So you inhale, you hold, you lengthen your exhalation, then option to hold with exhalation breath before you inhale again. So that's that fourth side. Now it's a trapezoid of some sort. Inhalation, soften around the holding if you do it. Ever gently elongating exhalation, so the shape is always changing. Then the hold as long as feels manageable before you start the whole thing again. One more round to finish. Wherever you are in this cycle, gently create one more. And slowly, whenever you're done, begin to, if your knees aren't already bent, begin to bend your knees, widen your feet to the edges of your mat or in that rough area, and knock your knees together. So your knees are knocking, your eyes are softening. Relax your shoulders, your facial muscles, and let your breath continue to flow. One more deep breath in, fill up your belly specifically. Diaphragmatic breath and exhale. Ha. Exhaling. Two more like that. Option to sigh it out or not. Inhale fully, big breath in, and then ah. You can get really loud about it or stay really quiet about it. All good. Inhale, big breath in, and ah. sigh it out. Now, if you happen to be on the mat without anything under your body, gently bring your knees into your chest. If you happen to be on a bolster, I like to do the omelet sloughing out of the pan release from the bolster, which means I gently kind of slide over, gently roll onto my side and move the bolster gingerly or slowly out from under, and then come onto your back. Bring your knees into your chest, and all of us meet in a knee circle, bringing your knees in a circle on the ceiling. You might hold onto your kneecaps or your thigh bones or not. You can do this hands free. And the goal is to squeeze your low back and sacrum, side body, a little bit into the mat as you massage out your entire lumbar spine. Imagine it's like a coin rolling around its perimeter, but then you also press through the middles. You're trying to flatten all parts of your spine at different points along the circular movement of your thigh bones. And then switch it up and go the other way. Breathing into this knee circle. And then keep your knees hugged in close. Flex your feet and squeeze your knees together. Hold onto the backs of your thighs or the fronts of your shins with your hands and lightly push your knees away from your chest as you press your low back flat. Only move your knees away as far as you can easily press your low back flat. Squeeze your inner thighs, squeeze your knees, squeeze your abdominal muscles down. And if, as your legs go further away, your low back can still stay flat, some people, and this is not going to be everybody, will find that they can lift their shoulders and head quite comfortably and allow the movement of your legs to curl your upper body upwards, further rounding your back and breathing into your back body. Big breath where you are, and then keep the resistance of your legs as you reverse course. Your legs are still trying to move away from you as you lower all the way back down. Then hug your knees in close and bring both knees wide apart. Push your knees down to the bottom of your mat, squeeze them together, up towards your chest again, and wide apart. So these are two knee circles happening symmetrically, opposite symmetry, equal and opposite. Round you go. Feel the catting and cowing of your low back. Option to do this without holding your legs. You can always plant your palms flat on the mat and move your knees wide and back together, but without holding on. One more deep breath in this first direction. Then reverse it. Knees go together down to the foot of your mat, then wide, up into your armpits and back together. So knees circling wide apart, then back together. Maybe you're holding your legs here, or maybe you're not. And then once again, bring your knees into your chest. Press your palms to the outer edges of your knees and thighs, so right where the apex of your bent knees is. So your arms will be bent at about 90, and then hug your elbows in towards your ribs, so you're kind of compacted into a little curled up knees bent situation. Keep your low back flat, and as you push your palms against your knees to keep them squeezed together, move your knees into your palms, and it's a bit of a tug of war, but your knees win the argument. Knees go wide, but bent elbows or straight arms, if you prefer, outside of your legs are preventing your legs from easily moving to the sides of the room, right and left. Anybody feel the action, the work here? And then reverse it. Now your hands are pushing your knees, but your knees are resisting. Your legs are saying no, 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 and your arms are saying yes, yes, yes. Low back flat. You might feel your biceps bump out of your arms. Makes me think of Popeye pushing your knees together. See, my brain is full of stuff like that, and I can't remember what's happening tomorrow. But there you go. Push your knees wide. Press with your palms. So resistance in both directions. Notice your neck. Perhaps you turn your head side to side and soften your eyes in your sockets as we do one more round of this. Pushing your knees together, resist your knees wide. And last time, knees go wide, hands and arms resist. Any amount, your knees don't need to go to the full extent of your opening there. You might instead not go quite so far. My arms are getting super tired. Anybody else? Low back flat. Then hold on to your right leg and relax, either interlace in front of your right shin or behind your right thigh, and slowly move your left leg all the way down your mat. Once your left leg is extended, circle both of your ankles, not just the one that's close to your head, but the ankle that's far away. Really spread your toes. Circling, spreading. You might hear some snap, crackle, and popping. No problem. As long as it doesn't come with a sharp pain. Yeah. So those snap, crackles, and pops are usually tendons sliding over bony prominences or other tendons. Circle the other way. It's just like a creaky old house settling. Yeah. I guess this is not settling. This is different, but there you go. Now take hold of your right thigh with your left hand. So if you look at your own right thigh, what you want to see is the top of your left palm on your right thigh. Wrap your fingers around the back of your right knee and then turn your chin to the right and dig your right elbow into the mat beside your body. Then rotate your belly button to the left. You can certainly extend your right arm out in a T shape to the right if you wish, but keep your right shoulder blade grounded. And as you pull on your right leg, once again, we're creating resistance, which means that as you pull on your right leg with your left hand, you're resisting that pull with your right leg, activating the muscles that we're stretching as you come into your side twist that goes across your body. For some, your right hip will lift off the mat, and for others, it might not, and that's fine. Take a deep breath into your right lung, imagining that you could do that, differential right to left breathing. Exhale into the twist. Draw your belly button in to engage your core muscles. One more deep breath into your right lung. And exhale, turn your chin all the way to the left. And then inhale your chin all the way back to the right. Keep your rightward rotation of your chin. Inhale. And exhale, roll all the way slowly, like a little jellyfish blobbing back onto your back. That's my new favorite verb, to blob. And bring both knees into your chest and rock side to side. Both knees in, arms holding or not. Ah. Now interlace your hands either in front of your left shin or behind your left thigh and lower your right heel and see if you can dig a little trench in the mat with your right heel as you kick your right leg long. And then languorously, but well, never mind about that word. Circle your ankles broadly. Not so languorous. It's actually kind of energetic. Spread your bones in your feet. Spread out your toes. You might even find your right knee bending and straightening a little bit. That straight leg, that long leg, doesn't have to be rod straight. And then circle it the other way. Supinate, pronate, crumple your toes, flex your toes. It's a good idea to try to also crinkle your toes in and crumple them like you're trying to grab a pencil and then unfurl them. So all the ways you can move your toes, try to move your toes. All right, deep breath in. Exhale, look down at your left thigh and put your right palm on top of your left thigh and wrap your right fingertips behind your left thigh. Look left, bring your left elbow deep into the mat. If you wish to extend your left arm, that can work. And now squeeze your right glute. Wait, which one is that? The buttock of your extended leg, squeeze it and use that as the engine for the twist as you pull your right arm to the left, push with your left leg into your hand and see if you can create some resistance in the twist of your lower body to the right. Relax your chin to your left shoulder and soften your eyes, but keep your shoulder blades moving away from your ears. Anybody feel the resistance here? Yeah. You can even point and flex your right foot, but keep the action and energy in your right leg strong and long. Big breath into your left lung, soften your brow. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Move your left hip away from the crown of your head. Lengthen your left side body. One more deep breath in here. On the exhale, turn your chin slowly, any amount, towards your right shoulder. Sometimes there's a stretch to be had in the neck and shoulder on the left side when we do that. Inhale here. Exhale your chin all the way back to the left. One more time. Deep breath into your left lung. And on the exhale, roll back like a slow little Jellyfish. Bring both knees into your chest and rock side to side. Hold on to the back of your right thigh with your right hand. Push your left palm into the top of your left thigh with your left hand and open your eyes and look to see if you can keep your knees exactly parallel with each other. And then as you push on your left leg and pull on your right, make sure your knees don't move and press your low back flat. You might turn your head side to side here. Do try to flex your feet, activating your lower legs. Use your abdominal muscles. It's hard not to. And sometimes I go just to blow off a little steam. Notice how tense your neck wants to get, how much your teeth want to clench and grind your expensive dental work. And then relax everything and switch. Left hand behind your left thigh, right hand on your right side. Push right, pull left, flex your feet. Hug your elbows down in towards your rib cage so you're not winging your elbows up and out. And breathe. Use your chest muscles rather than your neck muscles. As you push right, pull left, slightly tuck your chin and soften your brain. Low back flat. When you go, you can use that as an opportunity to pull your navel deeply down into your spine. And rest, relax. Right hand wraps behind right thigh. Left hand pushes on top of your left thigh. Push left, pull right, and smooth your brow. That's it. Sometimes that just feels like it helps you tolerate and forbear. And switch more quickly this time. Last one, push right, pull left. Will this never end? Low back flat. That's it. Then relax and take your block. Take your block and place it between your inner knees, right up at the top of your knees, very close to your kneecaps. And look at your block and see that it's going on its wide axis from right to left, the full 8 inches. And now put your palms flat down on the sticky mat and push down with your arms from shoulders to elbows to palms to fingers and slowly lower your feet, tiptoes, and then soles of your feet ground. For bridge pose, your feet are flat. Squeeze your block as tightly as you possibly can. And in addition to squeezing your block, try to squeeze your inner thighs together, though they're probably not near each other, so it's not that simple. But the felt sense is you're trying to get rid of your block by flattening it in between your knees. Squeeze your buttocks and start to peel your tailbone up off the mat, just the tip of your tailbone, then most of your sacrum. Then you start to move into your low back, gently rising into your low ribs, maybe a little bit more. If you end up with a cramp, you lower down and kick your heel or heels up to the sky. That can help you undo a cramp. Lifting up into your bridge pose, lift and shift your head backwards if that feels like it makes more space in your neck. Tuck your tailbone further to the sky and drop your belly button further into your spine. Maybe bubble up your chest. You can even lean left and tuck your right shoulder blade underneath your rib cage, and lean right, tuck your left shoulder blade under. Since your hands are on the flat mat there, you might grab the edges of your mat and pull it from right to left as if you're trying to stretch it wide. One more breath as you squeeze your buttock muscles and lift your hips. And then as you float down vertebra by vertebra, float your arms up to the ceiling. Zombie your arms up so much that your shoulder blades pull off of the mat, even though the middle of your back, your head are still grounded. Once your legs are all the way back down, slowly bring your knees into your chest, flex your feet, and drape your arms wide in a T shape. Palms face down or up. Tuck your shoulder blades away from your ears when we go into our lateral twist. If this wide block is making you crazy, remove it or change its width. As you go from side to side, you guessed it, I'm going to ask you to press your low back flat as you rotate through the center. So there's a really concerted effort for you to keep your pelvis posteriorly tilted posteriorly as you rotate. When your legs go to the right, maybe turn your chin all the way to the left and hold a minute. If holding doesn't feel right, you don't hold. But for some, if it's comfortable, you can create a little bit of abdominal strengthening here by hovering in your twist with your leg floating above the mat before you concertedly, before you really press your low back flat through the middle and go to the other side. Your chin goes to the right as your legs go to the left. Squeezing your block, but not your teeth. Hold and breathe. If it's easy to hold, you might even kick your legs long, creating a longer lever arm, meaning more force required in your abdominal muscles here to maintain the position of your torso. You could always bend your knees more. And then roll back to the center one more time, right and left. If you wish, you can kick your legs long for Jatara Parivartanasana, a variation of that pose. If your legs are to the right, can you pull your belly button over to your left and drop it down into your spine? Back through the center, press your low back flat, squeeze your block more. And again, option for your legs to be straight or bent. Looking right, belly button hugs into your spine and spins around to the right side of your body. Slowly back to the center. Torture by twisting is all done. Remove your block. Place your left foot flat, interlace your hands behind the back of your right thigh, and take a moment to use your fingers to rake out your tight hamstrings. Sometimes having just either flat palms or raking fingers can relieve some of that tension that's crept into your body overnight. Your connective tissue kind of vacuum packs itself all around everything. So you can start to change that up a little bit through effort and even a little manipulation with with your hands. Now interlace your hands tightly around your right hamstring. Hug your right knee to your chest and kick your right leg any amount to the sky with your foot flexed. Whoa, feel that? Inhale, point through your right foot. Try to straighten your right knee, but don't force it. It might not be all the way straight. Then flex your foot and bend your knee, heel down to your right buttock. Then once again, kick your right leg high. Good morning, hamstring. Point through your right foot. Yes. Now make a circle with your right ankle and sample some of the different muscle fiber stretches that happen when your foot is in these different orientations. Yeah, good. Circle the other way because, of course. Now, one more thing. In this position, let your knee be as bent as it needs to be, but hug your leg in as close as it can be. Now, use your hands to spin your thigh externally, which means you grab your thigh, rotate your right knee and toes to the right, and see if when you look at your leg, you now see your inner right ankle, your inner right heel, and your toes point out a little bit to the right side of the room. Bending your knee can help you because you can see, oh yeah, my knee is turning to the right. Then hold the back of your right thigh and now try to straighten your knee. Ugh. Anybody feel the difference? Yeah, right? External rotation, bend your knee. Now, when you bend your knee with this external rotation, your knee drops out to the right. Your heel goes towards your pelvis. And as you kick up with that external rotation, you're keeping that as you straighten your knee, point your foot. Then bend your knee down and out to the right. Keep that exact orientation and try to straighten your leg as you kick it to the sky. Nicely done. So your leg is still going straight up to the sky instead of out to the side. But when your knee bends, of course, your knee goes out to the side, but your foot stays right in front of your body. Yes. And then slowly, thank goodness, lower your right foot flat. And just without moving your hips, just wing your knees from side to side. Your hips stay relatively flat. They do tilt, but we're not lifting. And just windshield wiper your legs in this more constrained position just to ease up on your pelvis a little bit. There you go. These are kind of the constrained windshield wipers. Come on back to the center, plant your right foot, press your low back flat, adjust your head and neck for a neutral long back of your neck and interlace behind the back of your left thigh. Then again, here we'll massage out with your fingertips, your fingernails, your fists, your palms, run up and down the back of your left hamstring. If you kick your heel up a little bit, you might feel that hamstring lump rise up out of the back of your right thigh. That can be a good target for this manipulation. Yeah, there you go. You can even dig into the spaces between your hamstring muscles. You have a whole set of them back there. You can kind of get your fingers in there. And if that grosses you out, just forget I said anything about that and just massage the back of your leg. All right, then interlace and hug with warmth and pressure the back of your left hamstring and kick your left leg high, any amount. First with your heel reaching toes flexing, then slow motion point through your left foot. Then bend your left knee and hug your knee down close. Without lifting your chin, kick your left heel high. The more you hug your left knee in towards your torso, the greater the hamstring stretch. So if you need a little less stretch, move your left leg a little further from your head. All right, bend and straighten, point and flex. Then with your leg as straight as it can be, make those ankle circles again, noticing any felt sense of stretch that's in a slightly different location. There you go. Circle your ankle the other way. Notice if you're tensing your jaw. Now, a little bit bend your knee and then turn with your hands, rotate your thigh leftward, opening up your left knee to the left. You might feel a stretch already in your hip a little bit. And then kick through your left heel. Oh, you can hold your left thigh while you do it or do it without holding your leg, of course. Point your left foot. Then as you bend your left knee and flex your left foot, your knee will drop out to the left. But when you straighten your leg, kick it straight up above your left hip. So your leg is still in front of you. It's not a side opening, it's a straight up to the sky with an external rotation. Yeah, there you go. Not that easy necessarily, right? To maintain the external rotation, because it's not something we necessarily do all the time. One more bend and straighten here, hugging your left leg in. Big breath in, and then slowly come on down. Place your left ankle on top of your right thigh and reach for the floor outside of your hips. Setting up for a one-legged bridge pose. Palms flat, low back flat. Even lift your head and look at your legs to see, is my right leg right in line with my right hip? Are my hips square? And press your low back flat as you squeeze your buttocks and see if it's workable to lift your hips up any amount into one-legged bridge and then lower back down. And of course, if you get a hamstring cramp, bring your knee into your chest, kick your right leg high to elongate the back of that leg. And we'll slowly lift and lower 2 more times. If that number works for you, you can always edit and modify anything we're doing here. On your last one, lift and hold, stay in the hip lift, push down with your palms into the mat. You can even bend your elbows and elbow the floor to give you more leverage through your shoulders and upper body. Then slowly turn your left knee to the sky, kick your left leg high for Ekapada, Setupandasana, and point through your left foot, lift your hips a little higher, then bend your left knee and lower it to the floor, both hips still up. And then zombie your arms up to the sky as you lower your hips all the way down and reach your arms any amount next to your ears. For some, the arms will stop at about 40, 60 degrees, something like that. For others, your arms will go right next to your ears on the mat. And one leg at a time, kick both legs long for a long body stretch. Squeeze your inner thighs, squeeze your buttocks. Reach through both arms, even point through both feet, and squeeze your legs together. Wherever your legs meet, ankles, knees, thighs, anywhere, everywhere, squeeze, 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 and prepare to lift your feet up, but don't. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Any minute, I'm going to ask you to lift your legs up straight as boards, but don't. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Cinch your waistline, draw your navel in, try to press your low back flat. It won't necessarily go very far in that direction. One more breath, squeeze, 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 and relax and be like a jellyfish, blah. Ah, deep breath in, full breath out. Ah. One more time, deep breath in. And on your exhale, drag your left foot flat onto the mat and slowly lift your right knee in towards your chest and place your right ankle on top of your left thigh for a figure 4 position. Now you can stay here and sweep your arms down to the side of your body and breathe. If it works for you, grip your sticky mat, pull right to left and press your low back flat for the bridge lift. Squeeze your buttocks and tailbone leads you up any height. Don't worry if it's not a super high bridge here. Then vertebra by vertebra, ripple back down, one vertebral process at a time. Once you're down, take a deep breath in Exhale, press your low back flat as the preliminary, then scoop up, squeezing your glutes. Notice if you're grinding your chin to your chest, create a little space there and roll back down. Last one, inhale while you're down. Exhale, low back flat, squeeze up. And you can come down, of course, whenever you need to. Or bring your right knee to point towards the ceiling, kick your right leg high for Ekapada, one-legged Setu Bandhasana bridge pose, and then option to point through your right toes and lift a little higher. Maybe even tuck your shoulder blades in and under your rib cage, reach a little higher. Right leg can come towards the wall behind you. Inhale. And exhale, right leg bends, right foot flat. And as you lower down vertebra by vertebra, sweep your arms to the sky. And then your arms overhead. Now, for a banana body, bananasana, they call it, what we do is see whether you need some height under your arms. So for some of us, we might reach our arms behind our head and around your head if you had some height upon which to rest your wrists or forearms, because that can take some of the pressure out of your shoulder joints. So give that a whirl. If it doesn't work for you, of course, there's many ways to modify. But the idea is with your feet flat and your knees bent initially, you press your low back flat and check to see if your arms can rest around the top of your head. If not, you can also cross your forearms and rest your forearms on your forehead. That's another strategy, or even in a T or a cactus shape. Now, slowly kick your legs long down your mat and then flex your feet so just the backs of your heels dig in and squeeze your glutes, your buttock muscles. And then slowly walk your heels to the right. Walk, 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 walk. Just your heels until maybe your right heel is on the wood, maybe your left heel too, but your hips are flat. In other words, we haven't rotated to the right, we've bent your body to the right. If it's workable to place your left ankle over your right ankle, great. If it doesn't feel good, no problem. Just keep your feet together or close and no need to cross. Now, this is the fun part. We'll put that in quotes, fun. Now, what we do from here is slowly move your head to the right and then lift and tuck your shoulders to the right. Then bring your arms to the right. Then your head to the right, your shoulders, your arms, head, shoulders, arms, until you've now stretched out the left flank of your trunk, your hips, your armpits. If you wish to grab your left wrist with your right hand, sometimes people like that, and you can bend your left elbow and gently pull your left arm a little more to the right. But now turn your chin slowly from side to side. We're looking for a stretch in the entirety of your left side body, but not a stressful stretch. And it can be interesting and helpful to contract the right side of your waistline to create muscle action on the right that helps you naturally lengthen on the left. Squeeze your buttocks. Keep your left hip grounded. Your left hip desperately wants to roll up and towards the right, but can you instead ground your left hip and lengthen through your left side? Anybody feel a stretch in the left side here? If you're a person who doesn't feel a stretch, I have news for you. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Breathing, lengthening through that left lung. Notice where your chin wants to be to take out the tension in your neck. One more deep breath, big expansion. And then gently relax right where you are. Slowly, gently undo the left ankle crossed over your right. And then also slowly slide your left leg back to the left, your right leg back on, then head, shoulders, neck. I like to take a good little while for this undoing because it can be an intense stretch. Then I slowly bend one knee at a time and recenter myself on my mat, feeling for the edge of your mat, feeling for the edge of your mat by your hips, by your head, and then slowly bring one knee at a time into your chest and gently curl your upper body any amount off of the mat. You can always do this with your head down and just hug your knees in close to your chest. Or you can curl your shoulders up and make a tiny little teeny tiny ball with your whole body. Breathing into the length of your spine and the symmetry of this movement. Try not to shrug your shoulders and then unfurl from the middle of your back, shoulders and head down, one foot at a time down. And then reach your arms long, reach your legs long, and we'll do the whole rigmarole on the other side. Squeeze your inner thighs, kick through your heels, long spine, then heels, walk to the left. Heel, 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 walk, walk, walk. Check to see if on this side it feels okay to cross your right ankle over your left. Your right knee will most likely bend. That's fine. If it doesn't feel good, again, your heels can be right next to each other. Now, as you squeeze your right buttock, try to ground your right hip. Now, the first thing to move to the left on the upper body is my head. Head goes left, shoulders go left, arms go left. Head goes left, shoulders go left, arms go left. You might say, I'm done. I'm not going any further. No problem. Head to the left, shoulders, arms. And then, if you wish, grab your right wrist and even curve that right arm around the back of your head, or really above and outside of your head as you squeeze your buttock muscles, kick through your right heel, draw your navel in and down, and expand your right armpits, ribs, and chest to the right, and contract your left waist. So, an active contraction in your left side waist can further help you lengthen and expand your right side body as a whole. Big breath in, maybe turn your chin slowly from left to right to any degree. I find I can get a little tense in my neck here, so this chin rotating can help me soften that. And then choose any angle for your head that you like, or keep it gently moving from side to side. Big breath into your right lung and relax right where you are. Not that easy. Then super slowly and gently, I'll wiggle my right foot gently off of my left ankle and slowly start to sweep my right leg to the right. Back to the center very slowly, taking your time, bend your knees, recenter yourself. Even lift your hips and lower them back down to press your low back flat. This time, instead of a tiny little ball, make your knees go wide as you hold the backs of your thighs or the fronts of your shins. And again, if you wish, you can lift your chest, but you certainly don't need to. Hugging your knees to your armpits this time, so it's a wider position. If you prefer the tiny little walnut situation, you can pull your knees in close and curl up into that little ball. But this is a wide-legged little ball. And then unfurl from the center, shoulders and head, sacrum, tailbone, and 1 foot at a time. All right, really, really good. Now we'll slowly roll onto your side body and come on over onto your front body. But before we lie down on our front body, we'll take a blanket. So that was a little torturous, wasn't it? I know. So taking your time, we'll open up your blanket onto the middle of your mat. And if you end up having the fringes near your head, I won't freak out, but I'm inviting you to tuck them under, because having fringes near your head is, just saying, not okay. I'm joking, of course, but in Iyengar yoga, you're very careful about your fringes. So if you're a person who wants to manage your fringes differently, have your fringes to the foot of your mat. Now, I like a blanket under the top, rolled up under the tops of my feet, just so that I don't have that dull, achy feeling in my toe joints. And I also am less likely to get a cramp in my arches. Some people instead, or in addition, like to fold up their blanket in a strudel fold like this, kind of creating this flat rectangular, and put that under your forehead, because when you're lying down on your front body, sometimes people find that it's kind of nice to have that support so your nose and chin can point straight down instead of resting your forehead on your palms or turning your head to one side. So this is just another fun prop situation. That means that you actually need 3 blankets, and I know that's a lot for some. You're like, enough already with the props. Okay, so give it a whirl, see if you like it. And then, of course, I had you lie down. I didn't mention that we need our blocks. So that's classic Ann Curtis, vintage Ann Curtis. Hips and chest on your blanket, blocks nearby, one on either side, so that you can reach them easily. We won't use them immediately, but we'll be reaching for them in a moment. Feet and legs hips distance apart. And notice as you're resting there, do your heels naturally want to drop down towards each other in the middle of your body? And if they do, can you rotate onto the very front and top of your thighs
so that if you ironed out your yoga pants, you'd be sitting right on that center seam of the top of your thigh. Same with the tops of your feet. Can you bring the absolute shoelace side of your foot down instead of the inner edges of your feet and let your feet and hips be hips, feet and legs be hips distance apart, not changing your hip distance. Now, inhale where you are. And exhale, squeeze your buttock muscles and press your pubic bone and tailbone straight down into the blanket. Keep that action and try to scoop your belly button up off the mat and bring your low ribs together up off of the mat, creating a virtual or real concavity between your low ribs and your pubic bone. Keep that and reach your left leg so long that you can lift it with a straight knee. Then flex your left foot, bend your left knee, and with a donkey kick, try to kick your sole of your left foot up to the ceiling. And keep that lowering and lifting your left leg, squeezing both buttocks, right? Squeeze your glutes right and left, and push down into the mat with your right leg as you slowly lift and lower either a bent left leg, if it's okay. If you're getting a cramp, kick your left leg long and slowly lift a straight left leg. Totally fine to work with a bent or a straight. Notice if you're really tensing your neck and shoulders. Perhaps you rest your head and turn your chin to the right instead of pointing your chin and your nose straight down. Two more of these donkey kicks. Feel your left hamstring. Exactly. That's it. Beautiful. Julia. Yep. Yes, nicely done. And then lower down. I like that, Jessica. Palms together over your head. Bend both knees and gently windshield wiper your legs from side to side. Now, in this windshield wipering, can you also engage that same posterior tilt, which we just did, meaning squeeze your buttock muscles, press your pubic bone and tailbone down, try to create that concavity between your low ribs and your pubic bone as you flatten out your lumbar spine. So it's a little more of an active windshield wiper. Yeah. Come on back to where we were. I know you're going to love this. You really love the donkey kick. I know. You might turn your chin to the left, or Jessica's doing this really cool thing where she has her elbows down and her palms together over her head. I love that because that gives you some nice balanced leverage with which to keep your shoulders even. So that's really fun. Thank you, Jessica. Now, press your pubic bone down, squeeze your navel in and up, and reach your right leg so long that when you lift it, your right knee is straight as a pin. Then flex your right foot and kick your right foot to the sky and slowly begin lifting and lowering. Notice that if you press down through your left foot, leg, thigh, knee, and squeeze your left glute more assiduously, you might be a little bit less tilted to your right. Yeah, there you go. So in principle, your hips are grounded and even. That's it, Laura. Good. And you're kicking that right heel to the sky, maybe a 90-degree angle at your knee, even more of a 90. We tend to have it be a bigger angle than 90. You maybe make it a little smaller of an angle. Yes, 6,000 more of these. Yes. And then relax, bend your knees, turn your head to your favorite side, and this time we'll make the circular windshield wipers. Breathing your ankles so far over to the left, down to the foot of your mat, so far over to the right, and up towards your glutes. Round you go. Big breath into your side ribs. And then switch the circle direction, as if through in a vat of honey. Slow, rather than momentum driven, it's a little bit more controlled than that. All right. And then very slowly come on back. Now, this one has your legs down and your arms will be going up, but not quite yet. Reach for your blocks, grab the long edge of your blocks, and place your blocks on top of your hands. So your arms are down by the side of your body. Your blocks are resting on top of your palms, and the backs of your hands are resting on the blanket beside your thighs. Feet and legs hips distance. Squeeze your buttock muscles, press your pubic bone down, and gently turn your chin to the center, either pressing your forehead into the mat, lifting your chin, or using a blanket under your forehead. Breathing here, keep your feet grounded, your pubic bone pressing, and any amount lift just your shoulders up, hands still grounded. And then drop your shoulders back down. Inhale. Exhale, keep the posterior tilt of your pelvis and lift your shoulder head. So if you had epaulettes, your little epaulette fringes would be dangling straight down. And then drop your shoulders down, rounding your upper back. Inhale here. Keep the posterior tilt. Squeeze your buttocks and adjust your shoulders up. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Then reach your arms any amount up towards the sky. If it doesn't feel good on your shoulders, your hands might not go very high. That's fine. Just a little bit of height under your hands is all you really need. If it feels good and actually kind of fun, I don't get out much, as I like to say, your hands can go up to the sky, even higher. Finally, test lift your head any amount and see if it feels okay. If it feels like it's too much on your back, put your heavy head back down. And then if you lifted your head, you might lift your left leg. If your head is down, you might lift your left leg. If it feels okay, keep it there and lift your right leg too. You can always keep your head down here and just lift your legs and arms, or eventually you might lift head, legs, arms, and everything except the space between your pubic bone and your low ribs. Breathing as you lift, lengthen, and extend, trying to straighten elbows, knees, pubic bone pressing assiduously, chin neutral. Breathing, squeezing, lift your blocks high, even higher. And lower down, take your blocks to the floor, bend your knees and windshield wiper. This time it's a crisscross windshield wiper. Your legs both go wide and then crisscross right shin over left, wide, left shin over right. Crisscross, crisscross. Yeah. If this one doesn't feel good, switch to the windshield wiper you prefer. Yeah, for some of us, this is a little much on the inner hip joint area. And for others, it feels kind of like a fun distraction from the tedium that is Shalabhasana. All right. And then slowly kick your legs long, and then we'll roll to the side of your body. Reaching one arm forward can give you space, and then you can tuck your knees up and in, and then slowly lever up. So some of you have heard me say this 60 bazillion times, but I'm going to risk saying it again. Sometimes when we're on our front body and we're asked to get up, we go like this, right? And for many people, that's problematic for all sorts of joints, etc. So when you're on your front body, a more conservative and long-term strategy for getting up is to reach one arm forward, probably your dominant, roll onto your side, bring your knees in. Now notice here my torso is pretty neutral, pretty long. I'm not really doing any back bending or side bending, but then I use my arms and legs to help me sit up with a neutral torso. So we want your torso to be like the big giant Cheerio box, right? Cereal boxes aren't bendy, right? It's like a non-bendy Gumby, right? You just, right? Does that make sense? You just don't want to be like this, coming up where you're engaging your core. Ah, voila. And then if you're going to get up to stand, same thing. Watch my back. I'm keeping it pretty neutral the whole time, right? Long, straight spine. Anything you need to do with your appendages to get that to happen can be super helpful if you're healing from low back pain, managing long-term low back pain. Just really nice to maintain your awareness of that neutral spine. Let's come up to hands and knees. Folding your blanket under your knees. Again, I'm going to keep that blanket under my feet. And we'll do a bird dog. So this one is really good for back strengthening. And it can be modified in lots of ways to make it more exotic and thrilling, or more relaxed and less intense. If you have wrist pain, so it's not so great for you to sit on your palms like this, you might put your blocks under your forearms. Just one strategy for making more comfortable position for your wrist. So tabletop, let's meet here and bring your knees together. So tabletop here, forearms on blocks. Maybe you put your rolled up sticky mat under your heels of your hands instead. This is another wrist protection strategy. So rolling up that mat just a little bit and placing the base of the heel of your hand right up on that. So you look a little bit like your hands look like they're at the angle of a dustpan. You put the dustpan down and sweep the stuff into the dustpan. That angle at your wrist here now is greater than 90, and you can bend your elbows back towards your knees slightly in a micro bend of your elbows. That does two things, well, more than two, but two main things, which is to release tension in your shoulders and also to alleviate some of that pressure on your wrists. Now, With your knees together, scoop your belly in and up, just like we did when we were just lying prone, and push the mat away to lengthen through the front of your chest and tuck your chin for a neutral neck. Then inhale your left leg back, tiny, tiny pressure of the tops of your left toes on the mat, just barely, and squeeze your left glute, your left buttock. Then kick your left leg long. Maybe it goes to hip height, maybe not that high, and hold and breathe. Now, if you wish, you can add your right fingertips, walk them forward, spider walk your right fingertips forward, and turn your palm to the midline as you reach right arm forward, left leg back. Push the floor, the sticky mat away from you with your left hand or arm. Lengthen through both arm and leg. And then slowly come on back, right hand down, knees together. Scoop your belly in and up. Now, right leg, right toes back. Option for spider walking your left fingertips forward and maybe palm to the midline, like you're reaching to shake somebody's hand, somebody who's kind of tiny, and push the mat forward. Thank you, Scott. Kicking through your right heel. Long spine. Yeah, there you go. Swinging your inner elbow to face forward as best you can. Breathing. Yes, beautiful, Julia. Long spine. Exhale, knees down. Now you can go slowly, just as we just did here, one body part at a time, slow incremental. Or you can go for the staying up, knee to elbow, elbow to knee, left leg long, right arm forward, and then cat curl. Hug your knee to your elbow and reach. So this would be staying on the same side, 3 or 4 repetitions. Again, as if through in a vat of honey. Inhaling, and when you're done with that side, you put your right hand down, left knee down, scoop your belly in and up, bring your knees together, and then try the whole thing on the other side. Please feel free to do the incremental one. You don't need to do the cat curl, knee and elbow towards each other variation. You can do the knee down, hand down, switch side variation. Breathing. We're working mostly on that elongation of your arm, your torso, your head. Beautiful. Yes. One more time if you've got it, or even yourself out, and then we'll work into child's pose. For some, child's pose looks like this. You gently rest your sacrum on your blanket. You hug your knees towards your armpits and rock side to side on your back. But if child's pose with your feet over a blanket and your knees wide, big toes might touch. Any variation of child's pose that works for you, let's breathe into your side rib cage. And let something go. Ah. Breathe into your side ribs. Even feel your sacrum expanding widely. Ah. One more deep, full breath in. And ah. And slowly make your way up to sit. And we'll have a little break while we make a loop in our strap. And if you end up with a strap that's a little tricky, this doesn't seem to be functioning correctly, just raise your hand and I'll switch with you. What we need is a strap loop that allows you to put your forearms, or your, I should say, your upper arms inside of your loop with bent elbows like this. The strap will be above your elbow, closer to your armpits, but not too far up. Yeah, so pretty close to the elbow where your inner elbow is. The idea is that when you push out from right to left with this strap on your elbows, that your elbows end up about shoulders width, usually slightly wider. And then just to be more specific, if your strap is up here on your bicep, slide it down just above your elbow joint. That'll give you a little more leverage. Yeah. So when your strap is close to your elbow, then you have more leverage on your shoulders. The idea, exactly, Joanne, that's right. Now, if when you do this, you feel like your strap is so tiny, you're like, that's a good measure of needing to make it wider. One way you can test that is if it's impossible for you to lift your elbows forward and up, then making a wider loop is better. Okay. Now, where I'd like to go with this is come back to your forearms and your knees, where we were before if you were doing the wrist strap. I'll do it facing forward just so you can see. I've still got my blanket under. It's really hard to move around with the strap on my arms. Back to the tabletop position, but now I bring my palms together and widen my elbows as much as the strap will allow. Scoop my belly in and up, and in this position, tuck my toes under. So we're in a tuck toe tabletop. Your spine is as long as it can be. The crown of your head is lengthening above the space of your fingers. And then as you hug your belly in and up, try to lift your knees any amount and then put them slowly back down. You might be even be getting a stretch for the sole of your foot. It's good for plantar fasciitis, lifting and lowering. Now, if your strap is so wide that you really aren't getting a very tight strap, make your strap more narrow because we want the strap to support your shoulders, not cause them to feel like they're actually working too hard in the wrong direction. And yes, you can, of course, do this with your hands down, but in principle, your elbows are down, your palms are flat together, and you slowly lift and lower your hips into a variation. That's it, Julia, exactly. Now, when you lift your hips up, and you lengthen through your spine, but not pull your shoulders back. Can you plant your shoulders above your elbows? And as you lift your hips any height, you go vertically through your upper arm bones, pushing out into your strap and balancing your shoulder joint above your elbow instead of pulling it behind your elbow. So it's a different version. It's not the same as dolphin because it's a vertical upper arm bone. Yes, lifting and lowering a few times. If it's easy for you to lift and lower, you can tippy toe your feet in closer and take more of a vertical dolphin situation. Or you can come on down, take a break, and take a rest if you feel like, yeah, enough already with this. If you tiptoe in, lift your buttock bones high and push the floor away. And you can even go into an eccopada if you're really reaching for something more intense. If the eccopada is a bridge too far, no problem. We don't need it. It's just an option. Breathing, maybe even resting your forehead on the taut strap that's being stretched nice and tight from left to right. Yeah, nice. Good. And when you're ready, come on down, take a break, release your strap. And I love the child's pose that looks like this. For some, you can be like, no, no way, I'm never doing that. You can do this on your back. But for some, it's nice to put your knees right underneath you and bring your arms beside you. Even wrapping your one hand with your wrist back over your sacrum. Oh, for some, this is kind of a really nice position. You're kind of like a bean in the dirt, right? You haven't started to sprout. I rescued an acorn. My husband was going to compost a sprouting oak tree. I'm like, no, you can't do that. We're going to plant it. So we planted our little baby oak tree. Probably a crazy maneuver because we planted it in our raised bed. Who does that, really? I mean, really. All right, and slowly come on up. My idea is that I can transplant it. I have no idea. Maybe that's a really bad idea. All right, come on up. Now we get to come to standing. You thought we never would, but here we are. Now, what we need is to bring our loop with us and let your loop get really small because only what we're going to do is put the loop around your right foot. So even before you get up, if you wish, you can put it on your foot. Or if you've already gotten up, you can put it around your right foot. So we just need a kind of a comfortable belt around your right instep. And then we'll meet up in a standing pose. You can even put your belt in your yoga pants if you want, just to, that's kind of jaunty. And what we'll be doing is facing the long edge of your mat. So if you're on the massive side, you might face in this way. And if you're have your parallel to the floorboard, you can face the clock. Or if you're getting sick of me, you can face Dunkin' Donuts. So for standing poses, what we'll be doing is focusing on the grounding of your right foot. And I'm not going to mirror you because with everybody facing different ways, that's a little crazy making. So take your time to see which foot is your right, which foot is your left. And see if your strap is on your right foot. And if it is, that's great. Standing in the middle of your mat, take your right hand and reach down to a comfortable height at which your right elbow is neither completely straight nor deeply bent. So we want to have a little flexibility in your right arm. We could bend it a little more, we could straighten it, but it's not completely pulled in one direction or the other. Then slowly step both feet wide. Yeah. Do you want me to switch with you, Marion? You getting it? Oh, yeah. Yeah, no worries. A twisted strap
we don't go for that. Now, once you've stepped your feet to a certain distance, if you can comfortably toe heel your feet a little wider, that's great. A wider base can provide you with more leverage with which to support your back. When we do our standing poses with our feet really, really close, sometimes we need to, and that's fine. We modify for that. But the wider your base, the less likely you are to overwork your back in a way that's out of balance. Now, look down at your right foot and lift and spread the toes of your right foot, and then rock onto your right heel. Keep your toes spread and rotate your right toes internally and put your right toes down for an internally rotated leg completely from your hip to your toes. And then swivel onto your left heel and swivel your left toes out 90 degrees. Now, if you end up with a heel to heel alignment, great. If you want, you can wiggle your left foot in a little bit for a heel to instep alignment. There's some variability there, but roughly speaking, those are the two options. Now, again, reach down so you can pull up on your strap without feeling like you're going to bend your elbow all the way up towards your waist. There's a pulling up of your right hand and a hugging in towards your waist of your right elbow. So we swing your right elbow internally to draw your right shoulder blade down your back. Exactly. So if your elbow is up and out to the side, pull it in so your hand is out to the side. Exactly, Joanne. So your elbow is in and your hand is externally rotated. Now, float your left arm up and out to the left. Your hand floats above your shoulder. Yes. Now, look right. Draw both shoulder blades down your back. Parallel your shoulders to the long edge of your mat. Look down in front of you to check that that's true. But now, with your gaze straight down in front of you, rotate your hips to the left. Swing your belly button, rotate your belly button to the left. Then bring your gaze straight back up and look right again. Your hips will be turning to your left, but your upper body is not turning. It's parallel. Exactly, Scott. Now keep that and bend your left knee looking right. Yeah, so we're looking to the right, bending your left knee for warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. And without looking at your left knee, can you move it towards your left baby toe, outwards and to the left? Then pull up on your strap even more, bending your elbow more to do it, and turn just your head to the left. Look out over your left arm. Now stand up really tall. Warrior 2 is a pose where your trunk is basically perpendicular to the mat. Turn your left palm face up. Inhale your left arm up to the sky and pull down on your strap to lift your left ribs up. Now you can go straight up and look up. You can go straight up and look down into your left armpit, or you can go up to go back in an upper back bend, which is really a combination of a back bend and a side bend. Inhale, sink into your left heel more. Pull up on your strap more. You can always choke up on your strap. Pull up, up, up on your right foot. Sink into your left heel. Inhale. And slowly exhale, straighten out your left leg, bring your arms down, and then heel, toe, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, and out you come, shake out. We'll keep the strap on your right foot for the moment because we have one more thing to do here. Those were beautiful. So reverse warrior, what we just did, is not in the Iyengar canon. But that isn't to say that you're not looking for the same uplift in Iyengar poses. I mean, essentially, that pose is in the Iyengar canon. It's just not described as being separate. It's part of Warrior 2, Warrior 1, et cetera, et cetera. So you go through that pose, but you don't stay there. But I'm a big fan of that pose. It's more of a side body lengthener. Yeah. So for Utthita Parsvakonasana, we'll step your feet wide again. Ah, what the heck, right? Standing poses. Wow. Hands on your hips. Now, lift and spread your toes of your right foot, pivot onto your right heel and rotate your toes in, knees in, hip rotated internally. Then rock onto your left heel and pivot. So we're back to that warrior 2 position. Feel free at any point to reach down and reattach your right hand to your strap so that you can pull your elbow into your waist and pull up on your right foot right from the get-go. Then bend your left knee and use your left hand to push your knee to the baby toe side of your left foot, and then float your left hand up to shoulder height. Look down and see that your left hand is right above your left foot. Now stand up really tall and look right. Pull your elbow into your waist, pull up on your right foot, and parallel your shoulders to the long edge of your mat, but your hips are already turning left. Then keeping your left palm facing up, if you didn't already do that, lean out over your left leg, pull up on your strap, reach, reach, reach to the left, pull your left hip underneath you, and cut your left elbow to your left thigh. Now I need to pull up on my strap a little bit. I can't have my hand that low. Pull your strap up to the sky and look straight out in front of you, turning your left lung to Mass Ave if you're on the partition side, turning your left lung to the partition if you're on the Mass Ave side. Yes. Now unfurl your strap and see if it feels good to you to pull up on your strap straight up to the sky, bending your elbow to do so. Yeah, my strap is kind of short. If your strap is longer, you might go right over your own right shoulder or even over your ear. Pulling up on your right strap, on the strap in your right foot. Yes, bend your left knee. Look to see your left ribs are over your left knee. Press into your left heel. Draw your belly in and up. Get long through your trunk. And slowly come on up. Straighten your left leg. Internally rotate your left leg, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. Now, if you were like me and you have a pretty short strap, raise your hand. Yeah, pretty short strap, three people. Okay. Mini shorts. Let's do this one. Yeah, normal size strap for tall people, not so fun. Here's for you. You can put that right around your right foot. You don't even need to make a different loop. And I'm going to give you a lengthener. Yeah, we'll just do a twofer here. So we'll be doing this on the other side. So let's put your strap around your left foot. And we'll be standing in the middle of your mat as we were before. And we'll be moving into our warrior two position. Ah, this will be more fun. Now, bless you. We have a strap for your left foot, Julia. Voila. Thank you. Yeah. And Jessica, you needed a strap extender. There we go. Yeah. So let's give you that one. Is that longer? Okay. Perfect. Left foot on your strap, in your strap. Reach down with your left hand and step your feet nice and wide. So we'll use this as our starting point. Right hand on your hip, left hand pulling up. As you pull up on your left foot, pull your elbow in, point your bicep outward. We'll be lifting and spreading your left toes first, and then lifting your toes all the way up onto your left heel and spin your left toes internally. So internal rotation. You might even feel a little stretch on the outer edge of your calf above your ankle here. That's actually a really good thing to do to stretch your peroneus, that muscle there. Now, slowly spin onto your right heel and turn your right toes out 90 degrees. Now place your right hand inside your right knee and push your knee over your baby toe and bend and straighten a couple of times and see if your right knee wants to go a little further out. Right foot. Hold in your right knee bend, stand up really tall, and now pull on your strap and look left. Pull your strap up towards your left armpit and grow tall through your spine. Notice your right knee. It wants to swing to the front of your mat. Pull your right knee towards your baby toe, press into your right heel, and float your right arm up to shoulder, just a little bit above shoulder height. Press deeply into your right heel. Then turn your gaze right. Open your chest to the left. Turn your belly button to the right. Yeah, so this is a twist. Your left hip comes towards the mat, the front part of your mat, the long edge of your mat, and your right knee hugs towards your baby toe. Look left, open up your chest. Now turn your right palm up, sink into your right heel, and pull up on your strap as you stomp your left foot down. Reach up, option to look down into your armpit. Now try to lift your ribs up out of your right hip. Hug your belly button in and up. Get even taller. Nice, Corky. That's it, Kathleen. Exactly. There you go. These are beautiful. Press into your right heel a little deeper. Lift up a little higher. That's it. Maybe even straighten your back knee a little more. And straighten out really good. Lower. Yeah. Hands on your hips. Toe, heel, toe, heel. And step. Good. Shake, shake, shake. Nicely done. Yeah, your alignments are great. The hard part in reverse warrior is to keep the heel digging, the knee bending, even as you lift up. When we lift up, we kind of want to go up out of the pose, right? Down and then up. All right, so now we get to do Utthita Parsvakonasana, extended side angle. So we'll bring your feet wide, right hand on your hip if you like. Toe, heel your feet to a nice wide position. And rock onto your left heel, flare your toes. Turn your left toes internally. And then rotate your right foot out, pivoting onto your heel or just swiveling your foot around. Place your right hand to the inside of your right knee and find your warrior two. Nice. Now, by pushing your right knee to the right, naturally your hips will rotate to the right. Allow that and keep that, but lift your chest. And as you look left, parallel your shoulders to the long edge of your mat. Your hips are turning right. Your upper body is not turning to the right. Float your right arm up and out. And I need to bring my hand down a little closer to my left foot so I can pull up and look left. Belly button right, press into your right heel. Now look right. Yes, nicely done. Exactly. Reach out over your left thigh. Maybe your ribs are right above your thigh. That would be awesome. And then put your right elbow on your thigh. Or if you're looking for more intensity, straighten out your right arm and slide it cello bow wise inside your thigh. Then finally, in Utthita Parsvakonasana, you might reach your strap up to the sky, maybe even up over your left shoulder, over your ear. Push down with your left foot, pull up with your strap, ground into the strap. Very nice. Long spine. Where does your gaze need to be for a soft, neutral neck? Breathing. Wow, these are beautiful. Nice adaptation, Milton. I love it. Very good. And then slowly breathing in, straighten up. Out you come. Release your strap and sweep your arms high. Toe heel, toe heel, toe heel. Bring your legs and feet to point straight forward. Turn your pinkies to face each other, wrapping your elbows forward. Lengthen up through your right arm really high. Squeeze your right glute. Reach up through your left arm. Pull your right elbow down. Pull your left elbow down. Reach up through your right arm. And pull your right elbow down. Reach up through your left arm. One more time. Left elbow down, right arm up. And right elbow down, left arm up. And then move both arms up and make a huge circle with your arms. One more time, both arms up and a huge circle with your arms. Yeah, very good. Shake out. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Wow, it's so late. What the heck? All right, Garudasana. One more pose. Place your block to the outside of your right baby toe, facing whichever direction you want for a balance. And it's also fine to bring yourself close to the wall. So if you're feeling a tiny bit wobblish today, you could back up so that your buttocks and your shoulders are quite close to the wall, but your heels are not on the wall. So you have an inch or two in between the wall and your heels. For some, you'll be happy to just balance in the middle of the room, and that's fine. When you look down and to your right, we want your block to be just in front of your right baby toe. With your legs as close as is comfortable for you. Sometimes people bring their feet right together. Sometimes it's the front of the foot, heels are apart. And sometimes your feet have a good distance between them. Micro bend your knees unless it bothers your knees. For some of us, we need to straighten the knee 99.999% of the way. If you can bend your knees to about, what is that? 180, no, maybe 177, something like that degrees. Just a little bit of a knee bend. Now squeeze your inner thighs, squeeze your glutes, and try to pull your belly button back and in toward your spine. God knows we've done enough of that today. Now gaze down your nose and be aware of your right foot. Push down with your right foot and then slowly begin to peel your left foot off the mat without shifting to the right. Then lift your left knee any amount towards the ceiling and slowly lower the ball and toes of your left foot to your block. Push down into your block, squeeze your buttocks, and bend your right knee any amount. It doesn't need to be very bent. It can be a lot bent. Choose the degree of bend that works for you. If you can squeeze your inner thighs together, fantastic. Maybe you even wrap your left foot around the outside of your calf or the inside of your right calf, which is crazy for some and weirdly pleasant for others. Option to bring your arms behind you onto the wall or to float them up and out to the side, maybe on the wall. And since your left leg is on top, your left arm goes under. Then either bear hug with left arm under right elbow, or backs of hands together, or even palms together. Press into your right foot, squeeze your inner thighs, draw your navel in and up, and draw your shoulder blades down your back for eagle pose, Garudasana. Always put your left foot down onto your block or onto the floor. Pushing down on the block can further help balance you because that creates a muscle action there. It's a little more balancy. And when you say enough already, inhale your arms wide. You can even lift your leg up. And now you can, yeah, shake, shake, shake. Good, nice. All right, shake, shake, shake. Now shift your block to the left, outside of your left baby toe and in front of you. Legs comfortably together, hands on your hips, micro bend your knees or not. We just don't want to lock your knees backwards and jam into a hyperextended knee position. Navel in and up. Gaze down your nose, stand tall. Now become aware of the sole of your left foot and energize your whole left leg. We'll be lifting your right foot up. We're going to try not to shift to the left, but instead grow tall as you bring your right knee up to the sky. Then slink your right thigh over your left, put your right foot on your block and bend your left knee any amount underneath your right leg. Arms sweep out to the side at any angle that works for your shoulders. Since it's your right arm on top, it's a right leg on top, it's your right arm under. And then bear hug or backs of your forearms and wrists together, or maybe even coil. And then finally, bring that right foot, and you can, if you wish, wrap it behind and onto the other side of your left ankle. Gazing down your nose, squeeze your inner thighs, draw your navel in and up, and lift through the crown of your head. Eagle pose. Varudasana. When you're ready to come on out, sweep your arms wide, lift your knee. Yes. And out you come. Yeah, very good. Shake, shake, shake. Nicely done. Awesome. Eagle pose. Yeah. Now we get to come on down. And I'd like to do a Supta Padangusthasana 2 variation. This is a stretch for your inner thigh, inner groin. We've done a fair amount of stretching for your hamstrings, but this one is geared more towards the muscles on the inside, your adductors, the whole set of muscles that help you bring your knees towards each other. Now, for some, it's going to be super nice to grab that strap and put the strap loop around your right foot. If you're using a bolster, that'll bring your hips up higher. If you prefer a not such a high height under your hips, maybe you use nothing, or you can make a strudel folded blanket and put that under your pelvis. I'll show you where I'm heading. My hips, or sacrum, really, my sacrum is going on here. My tailbone and my sacrum go up on the bolster, and I keep the strap around my right foot and bring both legs up. Again, if this doesn't feel quite right, please feel free to swap it out for a folded blanket or maybe a flat blanket or nothing. Yeah. Now, for a Supta Padangusthasana 2, this is supine stretch for your inner thigh, inner groin. What we do is this. I reach up with my right hand and hold the strap comfortably close to my foot without stressing out my shoulder or elbow. And the first thing I do is flex both of my feet down to my nose and kick my heels up, endeavoring to straighten my knees. If you can't straighten your knees here, no problem. But do see that your feet are right above your pelvis. Instead of straightening your legs and having your feet way out over the front of your mat, instead, see if you can bring your legs so your feet are right above your hips, whether your knees are bent or no. Then reach on the inside of your left leg with your left hand and grab your ankle just above your left ankle and see if your left knee can drop out to the left any amount. Then again, like we did earlier with your right leg, we're going to externally rotate your right toes and knee to the right, and then sweep your right leg down and out towards the floor, in principle in the direction of your shoulder or ear. I'd rather have your both knees bent, your left knee quite bent, your right leg any amount bent, than have you have a straight leg and your right leg way down at the foot of your mat. The idea on this one is that your leg is above your waist, closer to your head. Whether your knee is straight or not is not the important part, but then as you pull down with your hand, you can even grab the loop that's around your foot, pull down with your right hand on your strap. Reach through your right heel to lengthen through your inner thigh, inner groin, hamstring, inner hamstrings, even a little bit inner calf. The idea behind your left leg going out to the left is this helps to balance out your sacroiliac joints
so that your right and left hips are equally grounded on the bolster. Instead of tilting way over to the right, there's more of an equal and opposite movement by pushing your left knee down with your left arm and pulling your right leg opening wide with your right arm. You're stretching your right inner thigh and grounding your hips evenly. Big breath into your belly and let something go. One more deep breath into your belly and let it go. Now be like an overcooked pile of spaghetti. Bend your spaghetti knees. Slowly come on back to the center. Switch your block to your left foot and bring both feet high. Flex. I'm sorry. Oh, excuse me. Did I say block? That's ridiculous. Bring the strap around your left foot. There you go. Flex your toes and then externally rotate your right leg and bend your right knee out to the right and reach for your right ankle or shin with your right hand. Externally rotate your left leg, toes and knees, and then slowly slide your left leg any amount outwards and downwards, knowing that a little bit of a knee bend in your left leg works really well if your leg doesn't feel like it can straighten all the way. As you work in the direction of straightening your left leg, you will be stretching your hamstrings. Use your right arm to pull or push really your right knee down and out. Maybe you even point and flex your feet a couple times, circle your ankles, adding some resistance, which means you would pull down with your left hand on your strap loop or foot or leg, even as you lightly resist that downward pull with your left leg. Breathe into the lengthening in the inner thigh, inner groin, hamstring area of your left leg. Anybody feel this? Good version. Yeah, that feel better? Yeah, that's perfect. Your alignment is perfect and leaning back and gently lifting your sternum just a little bit, Julia. Yeah, and settle your shoulder blades any amount down away from your ears. Perfect. Your alignment is exactly correct. Good. All right. Take your time, breathe into your belly. Wow, these look great. You guys have really good audio processing, I just have to say. And when you're ready, we'll slowly bring your legs back up to the sky. Choose any other stretch or pose that you're craving and you were waiting for me to do it and you're like, what the heck? Why didn't we do X? So, and then we'll place yourself into your Shavasana. So if you are a Stonehenge person, I invite you to take two blocks tall, about 6, 8 inches apart, place your bolster atop, and then drape your calves, not just your shins and or not just your ankles and lower calves, but your upper calves by your knees on the top of your Stonehenge. So if you like Stonehenge, great. If you would like to sit up and lean against the wall and give yourself the space to rebalance that way, any position that you choose for this relaxation phase is more than welcome. Some people even like to lie prone. You could lie on your front body, placing a blanket under your chest and under your head, for example. Any position for Shavasana that serves you is where we'd like to go at this point. If you have another stretch or pose you need, great time to go ahead and take it. Noticing where your body meets the floor, the props below you. Breathe into the places where your body meets those surfaces. Inhaling fully, exhaling completely, and then allowing your breath to find, bless you, to find its own rhythm. And if you find that you're feeling quite distracted, you can always go back to the box breath, or in our case, trapezoid breath, where you breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold, and repeat. Now you have nothing to do, just to let your body be breathed.